in the bull ring again this time when they shot that film. He got fucking wrecked by the bull, bro. Yeah, bulls are no joke, dog. That shit is not a good place to be.
You're
Dude,
like,
they would have totally got me too if I was on that thing, because they had a coffee, like an iced coffee set up at the set. And when you go up to order, I would have been just first in line. And when you go up to order, you order your coffee, and this big ass thing comes out and punches you in the face. I was like, they would have fucking nailed me, bro. I'd have been first in line for the fucking, oh, you guys got coffee on set. Perfect. It like knocked homeboy upside down backwards. It hit him so hard.
that shit had hurt.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they don't play. Their shit is gnarly.
Did you check audio?
Have you ever played Monopoly with Monopoly?
With Alec?
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't even know if he knows how to play.
Monopoly? Everybody knows how to play Monopoly, bro.
I get. Audio sound good? Yeah. No gain? The amps work?
And we're back.
You starting or am I starting?
Go ahead. Let's go. We're already started, bro. This is the podcast. We just kind of roll into these things.
We don't have to say welcome to the show, none of that stuff.
I don't really do intros. I'm just not an intro guy. But yeah, go for it.
All right, welcome to the show. We got Chauncey, got myself, Bride. There's your intro. You happy with that?
I'm cool with it. I think that's a pretty good intro.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chauncey Leopardi.
I'm Brian Goldstein. You got Gerald back there behind the computer monitor.
The ones and twos. What was it? 2-inch Thunder?
Yeah, 2-inch Punisher.
2-inch Punisher.
The 2-inch Punisher. There you go. Yes.
Can we move the top?
I didn't know it was chalk, but thought it was a marker and an eraser.
Well, everybody, welcome to our show. It's been a wild Halloween weekend.
Yeah, not for us. We're parents.
Yeah, no, it was pretty laid back. The kids were done after about an hour of trick-or-treating.
If even.
In their defense, it was quite a bit of walking.
Just from the car to entry was.
That was a walk. Going back is worse, always, of course.
Dude, that walk at the end, I was like, oh, this hill sucks.
Yeah, it does. I was pushing the stroller and carrying the baby because Jen and them were like far back. We almost lost Chance. Literally almost lost him.
And
he was gone. Yeah, and I turned around and he was gone, and me and Jen both panicked, screaming, and she found him 5 minutes later, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's just standing there.
That's when I ran back into.
I think it was, yeah.
And you're like, all right, it's time to go.
Yeah. That scared the crap out of me because that's not a mission I was trying to be on while we're trick or treating.
We would have found him, but it would have sucked.
No, yeah, of course. It just a logistical nightmare.
You just didn't find the house with the food. I did.
Yeah, that's true. We went home and had blippity boppity bloop. I forget. Yeah, it was pretty good.
All the candy.
Yeah. The kids were done, bro. They were just toast.
Dude, we started hitting some houses. They'd look at Madison and they'd be like, "Which one do you want?" I was like, "I'll take the king size Twix, thank you." Mm-hmm. That's all I need today.
Yeah, they got the good candy up there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Still can't believe we didn't get to meet Eddie.
No, I know.
We literally crossed paths.
Yeah. I messaged him. I said we were just there. I think he was right after us or something.
There's just no reception. It's no man.
No, you can't. You're just in
AT&T
dead zone.
Anything outside of that, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's dead zone, bro. Which is another reason why you don't want to lose your kid.
No.
They'll be safe.
Came up with an idea for next year's trick-or-treating for everybody.
Apple AirTags.
No, because then you can't yell at your kid through an Apple AirTag. Walkie-talkies.
Ah, yes.
Get them a necklace.
Yes.
And say, "Hey, dumbass, where'd you go?"
Yeah, exactly. Beep, 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 beep. You can just follow the beep beeps.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the move for next year.
I'm going to AirTag them anyway.
Yeah. Or get him an Apple Watch.
Of course, if I have an Apple Watch, I'll just tape it to him.
Yeah. Put it around his ankle.
Yeah, but if it doesn't work, because you have no service.
Oh shit! You can't get into iCloud.
Exactly.
Walkie-talkies it is.
Walkie-talkies it is. You gotta go analog.
Yeah, Amazon it up.
Yep. Beep 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 beep.
Best $20 to spend.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's not bad. Pretty soon they'll be able to like Shia's old enough to use a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, like when Jay and I are filming car stuff, there's always a walkie-talkie because who the hell wants to call someone every time you got to do something?
No, it's easier to just.
And when you're in the canyons, like, there's no reception sometimes, so it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but the walkie-talkies, they work no matter what, huh?
Yeah. It's half mile in the canyons, straight line of shot, couple miles.
Really? Yeah, we used to use them on set all the time.
Makes
Everybody
life
talked on a walkie-talkie. Yeah.
Get you the earpiece so you look all cool for next year.
Mm-hmm. Like a real operator.
Well, you'll be dressed as Steve-O next year.
That's right.
So you'd be operator Steve-O?
I'll be naked, I guess, with myself tattooed on my back. Going like this.
I'm sure Jen's going to love that one. Just be like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, him and his girl did a good job, though.
Very good.
Squints and Wendy was great. Yeah, he's good. I'm a Steve-O fan. I think that he's aged gracefully into his older self.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Wendy since you were a kid?
Yeah, we did a signing together a few years ago, but it was the first time we had seen each other in person since
you guys were kids.
Since we were like shopping the film or doing like media and stuff for that. Yeah. So yeah, she's got kids. I actually seen her at Nail Garden one day with her kids, and I thought it was her, but I didn't say anything to her. And when I did run into her, I said, I think I saw you at Nail Garden like 8 months ago. And she was like, yeah, that's my spot. And I was like, she said, you should have said hi. And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to.
I didn't want to walk up and be like, oh, sorry, wrong person.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not the type to say hi to people.
You just have to wear your glasses and then she'd recognize you.
Yeah, that's true too.
Did you ever find the glasses?
I have them, yeah. I have a couple pairs of them.
I remember you lost one and then you found it.
Yep, it was in your car.
Yeah, and then we found another pair of glasses in the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a nice pair of Ray-Bans now that are like color change that look pretty squintish.
Black frame.
Black frame, yeah, standard black frame. Yeah.
Just different lenses now.
Yeah, they have clear lenses, but they transition in the sun. So I use them for baseball games because they'll get darker like sunglasses. And they have the anti-reflective so that you can use them for shooting. The ones I wore in the Logic video were cool. They're actually, what the hell is this name of this place? There's this really cool glasses store in Silver Lake. It's called like Gentleman's Breakfast, right? And the guy will give you like a cigar and a glass of whiskey. And he has like all vintage, like period piece glasses. Like Persals from the 50s, like everything's original. And I have a pair of military issue, like Vietnam era issued, and they already had the green lenses in them so that they don't reflect the camera. So they work perfect for that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember when we were on the Logic set, you had them.
Yeah, those were badass. I was stoked to have those.
Then you had to go back and reshoot it.
And then we went back and reshot it again, yeah. I thought it definitely turned out better the second time.
Yeah. Because I was there for the first one. First one was all right. Second one I think was better.
Yeah, I think that after seeing Chris D'Elia as Eminem and seeing what they did when they slowed it down for him so that he could really get like all the movement in it and stuff.
Because Eminem's stupid fast.
Yeah, I mean, and Bobby's like probably even faster than that. But they wanted me to do like Bobby hands, like all the weird rapper hands and stuff because Bobby's super animated. And I think that I did it real time. And if I had done it slowed down, it would have given me a lot more ability to like add like crazy facial expressions and like really emphasize everything, you know. But I tried to just slug it out, and I think we came up with a pretty good product. Not a bad deal.
Got a lot of views.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Instagram just wouldn't let you repost it.
No. That's hilarious.
You're in it, and they won't let you use the content.
Yeah, Def Jam's got a lock on that, I guess, huh?
I guess phone call to Def Jam and say, "Hey, unlock my profile."
Yeah, it's all right. It's a ship that has sailed.
True.
I'm glad they were happy with it.
Did you ever get to meet him?
I still haven't met Bobby, no. But I think he mentioned me in one of his other records recently. Somebody had told me that he talks about it. But no, he called me. And we chatted for like 10 minutes. He was super cool. Said he was happy and thanks for going back in and doing it again. And yeah,
That's
good kid. I like him. Yeah.
Then we got to meet Chris too on
Yeah.
the first day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's funny, man.
Very funny.
Yeah, he's a funny cat. He was nice too. Yeah, very low key.
I still want to get Fluffy on the show somehow.
Yeah, I'm a Gabriel fan. I like him. He's good stuff.
He started following me,
Did he? Nice.
so I might have a chance.
There you go. Yeah, he'd be fun. Talk the shit. He's a good, you know,
Or we do a mobile setup and go to his like VW museum.
that'd be cool. Oh, he has a VW museum?
Yeah, he's a huge VW fan.
No way. Oh yeah, I love VWs too. I can't wait till that bus comes out. I'm gonna get one, the all electric one.
You're really gonna get one?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Take the kids to school?
Yeah, they're dope, dude. I like them. I'm into it. I like the bugs. I told Paige to get a bug.
What did Paige get?
She got a Civic.
Oh.
Yeah.
At least it's reliable.
Yeah. I told her to get a bug. Bugs are cute for girls. I think they're dope.
It's VW. It doesn't really break.
Mm-mm.
Same thing with the Honda though.
I mean, it's basically a Porsche, right?
Yeah, just parts are more expensive.
Yeah. No, she went and got a Civic. She liked it. She's stoked.
Happy with your daughter's purchase?
Yeah, she did it all on herself, you know. She called me back. I tried to tell her to lease it, but she wanted to buy it, and she bought a used Civic, and she handled it all herself, and you know, she did good. I'm impressed.
Not bad for her first time.
No. She handled it well. It was good. She didn't even call me and tell me that she had bought anything either. She told me she was going, but that was about it. Yeah. I'm really thirsty. Sorry.
One another
Drinking with my foot.
The mics don't pick that up.
No?
No.
Oh. Well,
We had the door open last time, and trash truck was outside.
nothing, huh? That's great.
Especially with those gizmos on the table, right, Jay? The amplifier thingies.
Oh, cool. Poor guy.
Jay, he might want more water. Oh, there's.
All right. Well, what's the topic of the day?
Topic of the day? I don't know. We want to go controversial?
Something that we can, like 15, 20 seconds cut on IG. Doesn't matter if it's like,
We could talk about the shooting.
I don't want to talk about that.
No shooting.
Yeah, that was terrible. It was a tragic event. I think
Yeah.
it's a little too soon to speak on it. It's unfortunate.
It's a shitty deal.
And
I guess the moral to it is walk away.
yeah, 100%. Is that, you know, a lot of times in life we have a lot of pride and you know, they say ego is not your amigo. But you know, something as trivial as a misunderstanding or a disagreement about nothing can turn into somebody losing their life.
Right.
And a very tragic occurrence for all of those involved. And it's not worth it, bro. It's just not worth it.
9 times out of 10, you can walk away from any situation.
Yeah, and you know, I don't even put myself around that many people most times just because.
Yeah, you and I, we prefer to run by ourselves.
Yeah.
Or like a very tight group.
Yeah, it's just too much liability and you know, it doesn't even have to be your beef.
That's the sad part.
You know, you can just be in the wrong place at the wrong time and have something terrible happen, or be involved in a tragic incident, and it's just something that nobody needs to experience.
No, and that lives with you forever.
100%. And in this day and age, unfortunately, when something like that happens, everybody actually gets to see like the tragic passing of you know, a loved celebrity or these situations or a loved one, and that's somebody's, you know, brother, mother, father, you know, and it's just a bad deal. And you know, people have cameras and there's so much footage of everything now that
Everything's documented.
how terrible is it for somebody to find out that like
You lost a loved one via social media.
before you even hear it from, like, you know what I mean, from the authorities or somebody close.
That's the crazy part about social media now.
Is
Before,
that
it used to take forever for you to find out. Now it's split second before.
yeah, and you got TMZ and these guys running the story and showing videos that, like, you know, maybe that is something that nobody should have ever saw, you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah, I don't think those type of videos need to be out there.
we don't need to see a young man laying in a pool of blood.
No.
You know what I mean?
Or
It's
a school
just,
shooting. Like I don't want to see that.
no. And I don't think it's I think it perpetuates this, you know,
Negative spiral, however you want.
yeah, because everybody goes down that rabbit hole and then they want to see it, and that's what's being searched, and then the algorithm we know works based off of
What's being searched.
exactly.
And
And
what's
so now, yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, we got to let these things be behind us and kind of go in another direction.
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away, bro. You
It's
know,
just not worth it.
no, 100%.
Somebody wants to take your shit. Here you go. Have a nice day.
I mean, we learned from Ed's class.
Yeah.
What's the best form of self-defense?
Walking away.
Run.
Or yeah.
Your
Ed's
2
version is
feet.
turn around and fucking run.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Don't wait around to find out.
Yeah, that's Ed Calderon for everybody out there listening. Ed's manifesto, a
Yep.
very wise man in the, you know, special ops field. And then I saw Sean Ryan post interview himself, another, you know, decorated military man with a big following, and he said the same thing, that, you know, your first line of self-defense is to run the other way. You know what I mean? Before anything. And it's just, you know,
Just because you carry a gun or a knife or whatever it might be. Why?
it's not worth using.
Look, unless someone's flat out attacking you, all right, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's.
But if I can walk away, I'm walking away.
Yeah, it's not worth it. At
Or
the end of
run
the
away.
day, regardless, you don't want to be hurt or put somebody in a position to be hurt, or put an innocent bystander in the position to be hurt, if you could have just left the situation, you know. Yeah, that's a sad day.
Very sad day.
Yep.
And there's been multiples of those lately, unfortunately.
Yeah, quite a bit, you know.
We just don't hear about all of them.
No, and we hear about a lot of them because we're in the, you know, the
Yeah.
public eye here in Los Angeles, and this shit happens daily, you know, and it's just kind of like,
Look, you moved so your family feels safer. Like,
yeah,
LA is not what it used to be.
no,
You got to think about where you're going, what you're wearing, you know.
yeah, and we're from here, so
Yeah.
we know better a
We
lot
know
of
better.
times, and people come from out of town, and you know they're in Hollywood, and
But even Beverly Hills now, bro, like,
it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in the city, you're subject to being a target to a random occurrence, and it could be not even somebody trying to take something from you, but just somebody trying to run up and harm you for their
which is
own.
the crazy part. Like, people are just getting clocked in the head and taken off.
Yeah, it could be somebody that's, you know, strung out and on the streets and mentally unstable, that just you happen to catch their gaze for whatever reason, and they throw a rock at you. Or like, I've seen so many stories of these type of things happening. I mean,
Didn't you send me that video the other day of someone in Glendale or Pasadena taking an axe to this one house's every window?
yeah, she was possessed, bro. That was a demonic type of
But
event.
still, unprovoked. Just random
100%.
person walked
That
up.
was super random. But that video was like, that shit's scary, bro.
She was on one. Who knows what she was on?
Nah, that was different, bro. That was like, I mean,
That's drugs, bro.
no, she could see in her eyes. She was like, that was like demonic possession. She was an older woman too. She was
Yeah.
like in her 60s.
She could barely even hold the pickaxe.
Yeah.
She was like swinging it from the bottom.
Which she probably picked up from their yard also.
Possibly, yeah.
100%. You know what I mean? Like, it was probably laying right there, and we didn't see the video that came before it or something. It's also, you know, another rule for your safety. If you're not going to be at your house, or you don't want your house broken into, or things of this nature, like leaving shovels and anything somebody can throw at some shit or break a window with outside is probably a bad look.
Oh yeah, or how people put those like fancy rocks in front of their house for decorations. Well, goes through a window pretty nice.
Yeah, that's you know, you got to think about things these days.
It's a sad thing.
Very, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Like we were talking about earlier, that's the joys of having a big dog.
Yeah, man, dogs are
It's a big deterrent.
huge, bro. Nobody wants to get bit by a dog.
It's
I mean,
gonna hurt.
I talked to Dietrich about it. Like, one of my best friends is a dog trainer and did protection work with dogs, and he's always been on that shit. That like a good protection dog is like the best line of defense that you can ever have. First of all, everybody's terrified of dogs. A person would probably rather step to a pistol than a protection dog.
Yeah, because the pistol, it's up to the operator behind it. The dog's
100%.
just going for
You're
it.
getting bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people are terrified of dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Like immediately. They don't, that's a stop sign, bro. That's
Even Tiny in his current condition, like, people afraid.
People are scared of dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big dogs especially. And wiry like Malinois and shepherds and the dogs that a lot of the protection work dogs that you see.
They're ready to go.
Yeah, bro. They're gonna bite your ass, big time.
Literally.
They're getting shot and still biting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not gonna feel good.
No, not at all. And yeah, that's definitely your best line of defense. If you really don't want to travel with personal security or hired security, then you know, a $10,000 investment in a real protection dog,
Fully trained.
100%.
You know, you still got to go once a quarter, work on the training just to keep them current.
Of course, if you treat a protection dog like a normal house pet, then they're going to be off point.
Yeah.
But if you treat them like, you know, like the working dog that he or she is, then you're going to have the best line of defense from anything basically that you could possibly have for your home. It is 100% one of the best investments you could ever make.
Oh yeah, and less liability.
Yeah, and they're good. They're good spirits, you know.
Oh yeah, good to have around.
100%. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that, and I think that for those that, you know, a service dog can go anywhere also. So it's for people who think that they can't take their service dog with them. If you get on an airplane with an actual service dog with a California service tag, and the person next to you,
not the bullshit, but the true.
No, if you have a real like a real California state tag, and you have a real service dog that's certified,
nobody's doing anything to you.
No, if the person next to you doesn't want to sit next to a dog, their flight gets changed.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. They'll pull them off the flight and let the dog roll.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that actually occurs because sometimes people don't want to sit, and if it's a full flight and there's not another seat, they will pull you off the flight and you'll take the next one and the dog will fly. Interesting, huh?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either, but it's actually a fact.
I guess it's an ADA thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like yeah, exactly.
American Disabilities Act.
Uh-huh. That's exactly what it is. You can't, okay, so you're going to wait then because this person has to fly with its companion animal.
Yeah, that's like taking someone's wheelchair away.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah, and they're not the best at it. I mean, obviously, there's, you know, one of our guys had an incident where he has his sister's in a chair, and she's severely disabled, and he took her to Hawaii, and, you know, he specifically asked for, like, wheelchair accessible and that they would treat the chair properly, and they damaged her foot when they were getting her in and out, and it was, like, a big deal, so.
Damn.
Yeah, it's, you know. Yeah, it's tough.
Flying these days sucks.
It's terrible, bro. It's a really bad experience anymore.
Everything's delayed.
Nobody likes it. Not the staff. There's just a grumpy experience. Totally.
Even going, like we learned in Ed's class, you think you're safe in the airport? Like, security shouldn't take that long.
No, security is the illusion that everybody is safe.
Correct.
But it's not necessarily an actual safety net.
Well, like Ed said, you go to the restaurant in there that's serving a steak and they give you a steak knife. How does the restaurant know you kept the knife or that you didn't keep the knife?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's the illusion of being safe, but not actual safety. And I feel terrible for everybody involved because it's something that's just overregulated now because of occurrence. Mm-hmm. And now everybody's miserable, from TSA to the cops working the airport to the airline employees dealing with the patrons.
The food vendors in the airport.
Everybody. Yeah. Everybody's like, I remember travel used to be like, I traveled a lot as a child.
Even before COVID, you were traveling a ton for signings.
Yeah. And I mean, as a child, I was on an airplane all the time going to do films because everything used to be shot on location. And we would travel constantly, and it was a pleasant experience. Pilots would put you up in the front of the plane if you were a kid and give you wings and take care of you. No, they don't. Like, it's not the same. Everybody seemed happy.
They did that during flight too.
The stewardess, they were happy people. They had a really good gig. You know, if you go back to the 60s and 70s and 80s and you see like Air travel was like, you felt like a king on American Airlines. They fed you well. They took really good care of you.
They made the food fresh on.
100%. Everything was great.
Now it's frozen, and they just throw it in the oven real quick, and here you go. It's
just a bad experience for everybody. I mean, that's why we've seen the rise of a jet suite or private and all of these other things.
Jet suite, private suite.
Yeah, just that people don't want to deal with the hassle of being treated like, being paid to be treated like livestock, basically.
Yeah, and that's how they treat you.
Like livestock.
Yeah.
100%.
Sit down, shut up, put your bag away.
And if you don't like it, we'll throw you off the plane.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10 when you're on a flight now, they don't even have TVs. They expect you to hold your phone in your lap, so you're like this for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it's a very unpleasant experience.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's been rough. I will say that I'm glad not to be wearing a mask on an airplane anymore.
I second that.
Yeah, that was tough. It was tough. I feel bad for anybody that's like super anxious. I had flying anxiety for quite a while, and
the mask only made it worse.
I don't anymore,
no,
luckily, but I can only imagine people that were anxious and super terrified, and it's like it's blocking your breathing. And to be honest, airplanes are like, their filtration devices are like some of the best.
Yeah, because they're swapping out the air. I forget what the time rate is, but it's insane.
It's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? And the you know, obviously the type of oxygen once you're pressurized that you're getting is better than sitting outside and breathing. You're breathing medical grade as well. So it's pretty it's honestly probably one of the safest places to be traveling with that many people in you know.
I found it funny though that they had you social distance to board the plane to sit next to a stranger.
None of it made a lot of sense, bro. I'll be honest with you. You know, there was so many different, like, just the shit is a joke, right? You know, and obviously I'm not the type to try to cause a scene or.
No, I just went with the flow. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's not worth. I don't want to get banned from a flight permanently. Like, it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it was. It was quite the experience. What a year, huh?
Year and a half.
Yeah, it was rough.
Now everybody wants to travel.
Yeah, it's a resurgence. Well, that's good, man. People need to move around and see things. And
there's not enough flights, though.
Well, it's the environment that they've created. People don't want those jobs anymore. You know, they're not the same type of jobs they used to be. It all goes back into, like, you know, people used to be empowered as employees. And they used to, you know, you wanted to be a Delta pilot, you wanted to be a Pan Am, a United pilot, you know? Think about Catch Me If You Can, like the movie. Yeah. Think about how, like,
the lifestyle he lived being a pilot and everything else.
Being a fake pilot. Yeah. Imagine being a real pilot or being a real stewardess, you know what I mean? Where they, like...
Exactly.
Where they were, you know, looked at and held up on a pedestal, where kids used to be like, oh, wow, it's a real pilot or a real flight attendant. Like, this is really cool to be flight crew, you know? And people looked forward to getting up and getting dressed and going into work every day and being happy and serving people. I think that we've lost the service in pretty much all industries.
Yeah, even you go to a restaurant now, it's like, you're lucky if you get nice customer service.
Yeah. And they get tipped pretty well.
That they do.
20% that their employer should probably be paying. You know what I mean?
And then, like, some restaurants now, you've seen it where they just automatically add a 10% because of inflation or whatever it is. It's like, well, you increase the cost of the food and you're hitting me for 10%?
Yeah, I mean...
And a tip? It's like...
I'm not going to stop going out to eat because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know...
It's just a little ridiculous, though.
Yeah, it just goes back into overregulation of pretty much all things, you know? We're in a perpetual state of regulation, right? Of things, you know, continuing to be overly regulated. And is it better for the general population? Probably not. But it's a way to tack another charge onto the bill. You know what I mean? Whether it be Airbnb cleaning fees or hotel resort fees or whatever it is.
Never understood that one.
What, the resort fee?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the first time they hit me with one, and I'm like, yeah, it's for like the pool and this. And I was like, I'm playing cards. I'm not going to be using the pool. It was like the first time that Vegas had like established that, you know? And they said, well, yeah, everybody just have to pay it, you know? Okay.
Why not just include it in the fee and call it a day?
Yeah, just charge more for the room.
Yeah.
Don't give me like,
I don't want an extra charge.
I don't want that used car salesman shit on everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me this is the price. The price is the price.
Yeah.
The price is not the price anymore.
No.
Not the advertised price.
I saw my hotel bill the other day for a Hampton Inn, nothing crazy. I'm like, what are all these extra fees tacked in?
City tax, this tax, this tax.
And I was like,
extra fee, room cleaning fee,
yeah.
COVID fee.
And they don't even clean your room now. You have to request it.
You have to request it.
And if they have someone.
Yeah. 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 Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and that one irritates me.
Yeah, it sucks. It's
you know, if I'm there for one night, fine. I don't care. But if I'm there for 3-4 nights, like, I don't want to have to go ask for my room to be made up and get fresh towels
and all that stuff. No, it should be there. That was the beauty of staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what you're essentially paying for.
Well, that was the rise of Airbnb and now the decline of Airbnb. Because they became a great alternative service.
Yeah.
Because hotels got outrageous with it and stopped offering amenities. And now it's like the flip side of that is that hotels are now becoming king again because the price
of Airbnb
and the cleaning fees and all of the extra charges has gotten so outrageous that,
and some of the headaches people have had getting access and
just in general,
yeah.
Hidden cameras, all this weirdo shit, you know, let alone what it's done to the housing market.
I was following this one dude that actually sweeps a hotel room and an Airbnb every time he enters with like a camera detector.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like hella stories about that.
I got one now.
Yeah.
I haven't used it, but I got one.
Yeah. It's just a little bug. It's not, you know.
Yeah, and then you look through it and it shows you the infrared lights and all that stuff.
We're in the surveillance age, my friend.
Yeah. I'm going to meet a guy tomorrow that would scare the average person.
Yeah. Some of that stuff is just like.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll bring some of the gizmos after I come back.
Yeah, we can break them down and talk about, you know, how to deploy them and
just for
who they're right for.
Even if you don't want, like, I'm not for listening in on other people's conversations. I could give a shit. But I don't want people listening in on mine, so how do you stop that?
Yeah.
And there are gizmos and gadgets to stop that.
Trace Buster.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie with Mark Wahlberg?
I don't think so.
I got to remember the name of it. It's really good. He plays like an assassin in it, but they're sending faxes or something, and they're talking about they have a trace buster like busts the trace on the phone, and then they had a trace buster, and then the dude had like a trace buster that busted the trace back again. He just trace busted the trace buster. It was pretty cool.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's good. It fits right in line with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, it's strange, scary times. And at the same time, obviously, I don't want to go backwards with technology either because it's obviously an amazing time to be alive that we're able to do, you know, things like this. Sit and talk amongst friends and, you know.
Broadcast it and do what we want.
One touch button ourselves with nobody else, you know. Yeah. Basically have our own studios and our own supercomputers in our pocket that are,
you don't even need like a full production team anymore. The softwares that do it are just insane. Like you need Jay half asleep behind the computer right now, but you know, other than that, what else do you really need?
I can literally send like compressed art files between designers in seconds from all over the world on my phone.
Have a VA in another country doing stuff for you. Like it's insane. Yeah,
it's a next level. There's really just endless opportunity at all times around you. And you have access to just so many people and things, you know, that it's a crazy, beautiful, scary time to be alive.
This is true.
It's definitely nothing simple about it anymore, but
no, it's not simple anymore.
But also it's you know, it's very enlightening to know that you can control your own destiny and that nobody can stop you from getting your message or your product out to the world.
Yeah, I love, you know, when I talk to people, they're like, well, it's hard to become successful. No, it's really not that hard. You just have to be willing to put in the work.
I mean, look, man, I listen to Gary Vee a lot. And, you know, one thing that he used to just post so much and respond to everybody when he was running his parents' wine business. And still, like, I seen him at Hall of Flowers, a cannabis event not too long ago, and he walked the floor and talked to everybody, right? Still to this day, you know. And this was during COVID, not a fear in him, just, you know what I mean, just taking it all in and communicating with the people. And like he, you know, one of the things that he always says is like, bro, this is the best time in the history of Earth to be alive. Like, you can literally, he said, if you have nothing going for you and you're not online posting like 100 times a day from every different social media platform that there is to get your message or product out, he said, you don't even have to create anything anymore. You can literally create art files and, you know, for free, and make money based off of just pushing traffic and just putting in the legwork or the groundwork or promoting other people's stuff. There's just so many avenues.
A lot of people just don't want to do the work.
I mean, I think, yeah, at the end of the day, I just think that people are scared to just put themselves out there more than anything, you know? It's easier to say it's hard to make money than it is to just try and fail over and over again until you find your lane. You know what I mean?
True.
I think that people are gun shy, or they're so bombarded by information and products that they're afraid to fall or be told that they're not good enough, or that, you know, and this is, once again, it's fear, right? So they're fearful of things that have never happened and probably never will.
You've started plenty of businesses. Not all of them succeeded.
No, man. I think of something new like every 35 minutes probably, you know what I mean? And some things work and some things don't. And some things I follow through with and some things I don't follow through with, you know what I mean? But the ideas, they constantly come. Yeah. But I've put myself into a realm of being
that guy,
observant of it and aware that other things are possible, you know? And that I can see these things through, and that I do have the common sense basically at this point, and the intelligence to try to figure out how to get something done, you know? And it's just, I mean, I think, you know, pretty much a 12-year-old has the intellect that it takes to be successful in the world today. Some even younger than that are even super smart and really on the Twitch live streaming or the video game platforms and these things, that understand that, you know, following a passion or just getting something done, and you can be successful and get your message out to a ton of people.
What's wrong? Whatever, that's enough to cut for IG.
I mean, did you guys want to cut something here?
I don't know, play with it.
Keep on going, still recording.
Yeah, that you have fucking, I think we have a 500 gigabyte on there.
That one?
Yeah, and then you have the 2 terabyte external. Working out bugs, you know?
It's a beautiful time to be alive, people. You have the world at your disposal. Everybody has access to a smartphone. Even people in the penitentiary system have smartphones.
Oh, wait, how did they get phones?
What, I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself on camera, but, you know, the same way that they get anything, and, you know, they just, shit is just in the air, my friend.
Bend over, Jay.
Yeah.
Or they use drones to drop it in.
All types of ways.
Yeah.
It's like we said, it's a beautiful time. I mean, I'm sure people are walking them in, flying them in, throwing them in.
A lot of people get busted for attempting to bring them in.
Of course.
But for the amount of people that fail, there's still a good percentage that actually get through.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are doing Twitch streams and like Facebook Lives and all this stuff from inside the
Really?
joint. Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, bro. Straight up. They're doing like, they online. So, I mean, if they can do it, then anybody can, right? Because they have nothing but time, right?
I saw a quote a long time ago. A crackhead never says something along the lines of, how am I going to get cracked today? They bust their ass to get their fucking fix.
100%.
So you're going to bust your ass to fill up your pockets today with money, or you're just going to sit back and twiddle your thumbs?
That's it. You know? That's not the best analogy, but yes.
You know what I mean.
Yes, of course, yeah. Yep. You know what the difference between a crackhead and a tweaker is?
No.
A crackhead will steal your shit. A tweaker will steal your shit and help you look for it. That's a true story. Anyway.
So this one time at band camp.
Yeah. You know, drugs are bad.
This is true.
That's one thing Dave taught us.
Who's Dave?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. I've never tried it. I know plenty of people that have. And everyone that has tried it says it's a hell of a drug.
I never really got it, to be honest. But yeah, it is a hell of a drug, you know. But you know, it's not for everybody. I think that the less stereotypes and negative suppression we put on substances and things, the better off the world would be.
Yeah, let people want to explore and do what they want to do, and tell people no, they're still going to do it. They're still going to fuck with it.
Yeah, it's not our job to tell people how to find their path.
No.
Now, obviously, I mean, the current climate is out of control. I mean, my daughter was telling me what fentanyl looked like because they're teaching them at the school to be aware of it and the candy sources and things like that for Halloween.
Fentanyl's a white powder.
Well, no, but they're making little pressed pills and they're telling them that they're like little Skittles basically, and that you got to watch Halloween candy and go through the thing. You know what I mean? I know it sounds a little skeptical to me, but this is the world we live in today.
Look, that was the thing when we were growing up too.
It was.
Check your Halloween candy, but
for razor blades and
fucking random
whatever
bullshit.
Yeah.
The fentanyl thing, with my medical background, like, dude, you're never gonna know. So you can look all you want, but if someone's really fucked in the head and really wants to fuck some people up, you're not gonna know until it's too late, and that's the sad part of it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Test your kid's candy before they eat it? No.
Well, the sad part is that they're teaching them that like they're looking for like pills and different like things. You know what I mean? And that's not, obviously, you know better than me, but that's not the case.
No, fentanyl in its form comes in a powder that's super potent and it's measured in micrograms. Like, fuck, a grain of rice size will OD someone like you and me any day of the week. Yeah. And it's just crazy that you'll never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, scary times.
Yeah, like, I was talking to some people that party and they're like, yeah, I'm afraid of doing blow now because
100%.
You know what the fuck's in it?
No, because motherfuckers
Mixing
get a
shit.
bad bag and it's a wrap, bro. You know what I mean? And that shit's cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's a synthetic drug. It's cheap. It's easy to come across and it's uber potent and it's just bad news.
Oh yeah, and there's kilos coming in by the hour.
Yeah, I don't even know, but
you see it in the news.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. You know, ever increasingly creative.
We're just in some wild times.
Yeah, great, scary, wild times. I still have hope.
There's a lot of money to be made. There's, everything's calculated.
Yeah. But I mean,
best way I can explain.
That's almost better. The information is out there now.
Yeah.
So the go-getters are really able to accelerate things and get creative because anything's on the table, right? You know, it's a great time in that sense, you know, because if you really want to do something, you can accomplish anything you want. Probably from this chair while we're podcasting right now.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
So much you can do and just people don't think about it. I was mentoring a kid today and he was just giving me excuses on stuff and I'm like, bro, you're paying me a lot of money to mentor you.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the excuses? Clearly you want to level up. You paid me, but why do you have excuses on why things are going to take 180 days, 90 days? Everyone has an excuse for something now. And like, you get frustrated with employees and you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to go do it myself.
They're limiting themselves.
Yeah.
Instead of just finding a way to make it happen.
Like, look at fast food restaurants. It's now automated when you walk up.
Yeah.
There's no fucking person standing there. It's a computer. And people are putting themselves out of jobs by complaining about certain things.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, it's a lost. I think it's a hard time for the youth to find their place. Either they immediately find it and they shine, or
They're late bloomers.
they're late bloomers and it takes them a really long time to adjust to like things that were just kind of second nature to us that, you know, our parents' generation was very, you better just get back up when you fall and figure it out. We're not going to be there to save you or to give you a safety net. You're just going to have to go out and find a way, you know?
Exactly.
And although we're limited by like, we caught the tail end of the technical rise, obviously, you know, and the rise of technology. But I think that the mindset that we have because of, you know, coming from somewhere that it was obvious that nobody was going to do anything for you.
Exactly.
Has made us be able to have the drive to like see things through and have confidence in ourselves and know that we can do something and to prove people wrong in a sense, you know, go against the grain. And that's definitely it's definitely an attribute that's good to have, you know,
Oh, yeah.
that I think the kids are lacking in these days, you know, the participation trophies and all the pats on the back.
Dude, there was no participation trophies when we were kids.
No, it's just if you
First,
win,
second, third.
if you win, you win, bro.
Yeah.
You know, if you ain't first, you're last. It's just a different
Shake
time
and bake.
period, you know, shake and bake. Yeah, it's an interesting time, and I get it. You know, you always want to.
But I feel like that's making people not dig as deep. You're programming someone that, hey, you showed up, so that's good enough.
Yeah, it's not work ethic. It's
Dude,
definitely not Mamba mentality, right?
That's not good enough, in my opinion. You got to
No.
show up and do the work, and you
No.
got to earn what you're getting.
That the people that you see in these positions that you like or envy or want to be like, or to emulate, you got to know that they worked harder than everybody else to be in that position, and there's nothing else there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the grind never stops. Like, just
No.
because you're at a level, well, okay, tomorrow you can't just sit back.
No, because
It's not going to work.
yeah, and once you find the passion for creation, that's the drive in itself anyway.
Correct.
It's not even about the monetary gain or the fame or the things that come with it anymore. It's just in the pursuit of the creation of what's next, right? Because that's the only thing that drives me anymore. It's not, you know, how something did or how it was perceived, but just like it was cool to bring a thought into reality, and now what's next, right?
Exactly.
And no matter how cool you thought it was going to be, and even if it greatly exceeds your expectations, it's never enough. And you're always going to be back, you know, maybe a couple of days, and then you're back to like, all right, so next year we're back on the grind, right?
Exactly.
Whether it's a season or you know, or a business, or not, doesn't matter, sports, entertainment, whatever it is that you know that makes you tick. Moving forward and continuing to you know, the beauty is really in the beauty is in the, you know, the journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the drive to get from point A to point B, whatever that may be, and then you're done and you're like, fuck, I did it, you know, or I almost did it, or even if you fail, man, that was close. And then it's like, okay, well, what's next? That's it.
Very true.
Might be a good title for the podcast, actually.
Yeah.
What's next?
What's next?
You know?
Should we end it here today? And
Yeah, might be a good place to sign off.
smell you guys on the next one.